Welcome to Thought for October the 31st. Our readings are taken from 2Chronicles chapter 29, Daniel chapter 9 and Acts chapter 9. And our thought is, his mother's name was... At the end of yesterday's chapter 28 in 2Chronicles, we read of the death of Ahaz. He had been such a godless king, probably the worst to reign in Jerusalem, so that they did not put his body into the tombs of the kings. His 16-year reign had been an utter disaster. The point is made, in the time of his stress, he became yet more faithless to the Lord. How tragic after his father Jotham had been such a good king. Today we read how his son Hezekiah made immediate changes. In the first year of his reign, in the first month, we read in verse 3, we ponder the causes of his motivation. The chapter begins by telling us that his mother's name was Abijah. The parallel chapter in 2 Kings 18, verse 2, simply names her as Abi. What an influence she must have been on him. Solomon reminisced in his Proverbs, "When I was a son with my father, tender, the only one in the sight of my mother," Proverbs 4 verse 3. How many Abis of the same calibre are there today? We also learn that Hezekiah was 25 years old when he began to reign, which means that up to the age of 11 he had the example and probable influence of his grandfather, the good King Jotham, to lay foundation for his mother to build upon in his later years. More lessons for us. Grandfathers, take note. Hezekiah says, "Now it is in my heart to make a covenant with the Lord," verse 10. That's an interesting way of putting it. Can we openly say of anything, "Now it is in my heart to commit myself to do or accomplish some particular thing"? Our thoughts yesterday highlighted the nature of a covenant in New Testament times. Jesus, as he handed the cup to the 12 disciples, said, "This is the blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many." Mark 14, verse 24. We accept that cup and agree to that covenant when we are baptized. As priests in training for God's kingdom, we are called to be ministers of a new covenant, 2 Corinthians 3 verse 6, to be centered on Jerusalem. Paul makes a thought-challenging point when he told the Galatians in chapter 4 and verse 26, "The Jerusalem above is free, and she is our mother." The temple at Jerusalem and the saints ministering from there will be mothers in training the world of that age in the ways of righteousness. But first the priests have to be trained themselves. How is our training progressing? Thank you once again for joining us for Thought for the Day, where together we can open up the pages of God's Word, remembering that they are a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.